Okay, we're now going to talk about measures of spread, which is how far sort of apart data is, or how far it is from other things. And range and interquartile range are two examples of this that you should already be familiar with. Range, the difference from the maximum, sort of the highest piece of information, and the lowest, the minimum. Interquartile range, if you cast your mind back to when you did box plots, okay, that's when we look at sort of around here, the lower quartile and the upper quartile, and we look at the range between them here. Okay, this might be more reliable because it avoids extreme pieces of data. And you can also do this with percentiles. So you may wish to look at, say, the 10th to the 90th percentile, where you get rid of the lowest 10% and the highest 10% of the most extreme data either side. So when we're talking about quartiles, group data is going to be very much the same. We've talked about this already. But for listed data, there is a rule which we should be using to find these quartiles. And this might differ from what you expect to see from GCSE, so you should make a note of this. So to find the lower or upper quartile, we find a quarter n or 3/4 n. And then depending on the answer, we have two different options. So let's do the first one. 5. If I do 1/4 of 5, I will get 1.25. And it says here, if we have a decimal, we are rounding up. So 1.5 to 2. So the second position in my list here, okay, gives me my lower quartile. And that's going to be, let's just cancel that a second. And that one's going to be the second position, okay, which is 4. The same applies for sort of the upper quartile. 3/4 is 3.75. This is a decimal, so you round up to the fourth position, which is 9. Let's do another one. 4. A quarter of that will be 1. So 1 is a whole number. If a whole number, use halfway between this and the next number. So we're looking between the first and the second position. Okay, and similarly for upper quartile, you'd be looking between the third and fourth. What is between 1 and 2? Well, it's the point between 4 and 9, okay, which is 6.5. A similar idea here. So I'm just going to reveal these for you. You need to write this rule down and use this rule. What do we do for group data? Well, actually, we use our linear interpolation. So for the lower quartile, what do we have here? 7, 5, so we've got 12, 15, so we've got 17. Okay, we would find a quarter of this, okay, the position for this. And then we would go towards, again, using linear interpolation. So the 4.25th position, because we're treating it as sort of continuous as it's group data, we found a quarter n, and we would do linear interpolation. Notice that we don't round this value. Rounding is for when we have a list of data. It's a couple of examples here. So what do we have? First of all, well, here we've got, we're sort of grouping together some data. Okay, our frequency, we need to add these up to decide what it should be. Okay, and we should get 100. So for the lower quartile, 100 divided by 4, we're talking about the 25th item. Okay, where is the 25th item? Well, the first 24 are here, so the 25th must be in the next group. What's going to happen? Well, we see again we've got, because we have grouped data, we've got a calculation for linear interpolation. So first of all, you need to adapt these. So we have the gaps covered for linear interpolation. Then we're saying it's in this group, so we start at 1000.5. To get to the 25th person, you only add one more person out of the 29 that are in there, multiplied by the width of the group. The width of the group, okay, it goes from 1000.5 to 1500.5, so it's 500, okay? And you could do something similar for the upper quartile. So this is using linear interpolation for quartiles. Over here, we're talking about the 10th percentile. So what we need to do is we need to add them together. So 17 plus 5 is 22, so 30, 41. So we're actually going to talk about the 4.1 position. Where is this? This is going to be in this group here. So just have a think about using linear interpolation, what's going to happen. We have the lowest point here. We have 4.1 in, out of the 17 in the group, multiplied by the width of that group. And there's no need to adjust the width. This is done for you already. The 90th percentile you could do in a similar way, and you could find a percentile range by doing this. On the board, there's a couple of examples you should have a go at here, just to quickly check that you understand the ideas shown to you, and in particular, linear interpolation. So I'm going to assume that you've done that now, and reveal the calculations on the board. If you're looking for more linear interpolation questions in the book, there are a few in the mixed exercise that you may wish to have a go at. They often say using linear interpolation, or they will talk about sort of estimating the median and so on. Sorry, estimating the median. And that takes you to exercise 2D.